The Obama campaign taking the offensive with two new campaign ads.
Things have changed in the last 26 years, but McCain hasn't. He admits he still doesn't know how to use a computer, can't send an email. After one president who was out of touch, we just can't afford more of the same.
Change is a president who brings people together. I'm Barack Obama, and I approve this message because this year, change has to be more than a slogan.
Let's bring in Margaret Carlson, columnist with Bloomberg News. Margaret, there are two new ads and a speech in Concord, New Hampshire. He's going to be hammering away at John McCain today on economic issues, on change. Is this effective enough, given what the McCain campaign have been throwing at him all week?
Well, Democrats don't know what to do with their hands if they're not wringing them. And they've been calling all week saying, Obama, you must respond, you must respond. And I think this is a reaction to that. That first ad strikes me as one which tries to get at he's old and out of touch. But, the computer thing has been out there for a while. It's a one-off ad trying to say he picked somebody inexperienced. He's old. Heartbeat away from the presidency of a 72-year-old heart, not good, but it doesn't quite get that message done. The second one, I think, is better, which it goes to the heart of this, which is McCain just decided to say he was the change candidate, and by picking Palin and creating some excitement with someone new, it seems to have stolen the thunder of Obama. Maybe he can get it back with that ad, and maybe, some righteous indignation on Obama's part, erasing a little bit of his cool and polished demeanor, might work to swing things back in his direction.
Well, there was a campaign memo today from David Plouffe who said, we will respond with speed and ferocity to John McCain's attacks.
Yeah.
Senator Biden will be integral to that effort, both in pushing back on the lies that we'll continue to see from our opponents and in keeping the debate focused on delivering for everyday Americans. That's the Plouffe memo. But ferocity, one thing that struck me today in looking at the latest McCain ad, and, well, let's play the latest McCain ad and see the contrast that I'm talking about.
He was the world's biggest celebrity, but his star's fading. So they lashed out at Sarah Palin, dismissed her as good-looking. That backfired, so they said she was doing what she was told. Then desperately called Sarah Palin a liar. How disrespectful. And how Governor Sarah Palin proves them wrong every day.
I'm John McCain, and I approve this message.
Now, factcheck.org, as you can see, says that this new McCain-Palin ad, lashing out, beginning like an earlier ad that they criticized with its reference to Barack Obama's celebrity, then goes down new paths of deception. It takes quotes from news organizations and uses them out of context in an effort to portray Obama and his running mate Joe Biden as unfairly attacking Sarah Palin and making sexist remarks. This ad is particularly egregious, they said. Well, the other thing that occurs to me, Margaret, is if you listen to the two ads, the McCain ad uses this percussive music, and it's almost like some of the music behind their ads sounds almost like the music behind Jaws, and you have this very light sort of tempo music, kind of whimsical music in the supposedly ferocious Barack Obama counterattacks. I'm not sure that they really work against each other.
Well, ferocious is not a word you associate with Barack Obama. So David Plouffe saying, the ferocity is going to come. The skills of a campaigner are not the skills you want in a president necessarily. Obama is a steady, composed player. He doesn't get terribly upset. He doesn't get angry. He doesn't seem to suffer lows or highs. This is not good in a campaign. He may have to start conjuring up some of that. But ferocity, if that's what David Plouffe is promising, I don't think you're ever going to get out of Obama. It may be to the good. On the ad business, you can do more in an ad than you can do in person. If the Obama campaign, seems to me, has to start calling McCain out on some of the ads. The one before the one that you just showed about sex education, factcheck.org and others have said that's absolutely untrue. And when you hear John McCain say, I'm John McCain and I approve that ad, you can hardly believe it. It just is not the John McCain who himself was a victim of those kinds of tactics in 2000.
And Margaret, a wise woman went out to a McCain-Palin rally in Virginia and wrote in Bloomberg News, quote, "For the moment, for all the facts that matter, Palin could have laid the caissons for the bridge to nowhere and burned books in the town square. To that huge audience in Virginia, she hung the moon and the stars. Crowds and celebrity were on the list of Obama's flaws until Palin started attracting the first and became the latter. Now McCain doesn't leave home without her." Well, of course, this weekend he's home and she's out campaigning. So now she's the main act.
Yeah, well, she'll be right back. I mean, there's a danger, even at that event, which was hugely successful, that she begins to look like Johnny Carson and McCain is Ed McMahon, her sidekick, her, second banana, because they were all there to see Sarah Palin. And to a person that I talked to, they had these answers about what was appealing to her, and it really came down to she's so much like one of us. And when I did a follow-up, well, should you be vice president? And they said, well, she's gone through the things I'm going through, so she identifies with my problems. I said, but should you be vice president?
This gets back to people voting in 2004 who they wanted to have a beer with or have dinner with. I mean, it becomes personality-driven.
Yeah.
Margaret, what about last night's interview? And what was she appealing? Was he too overbearing? Was she unprepared? What was your takeaway?
Andrea, she's a naturally likable person. I thought her speech at the convention was very good. She gives a good speech from a teleprompter. In person, being asked questions, I felt like she was my daughter and I was rooting her on through a piano concert. Please don't hit the wrong note. I'm anxious. She got through it. For those people who are strongly in favor of her, they say, well, she got through that exam. For those who are more skeptical, it might have added to their skepticism because some of the answers were halting and nervous, and some of them were against what McCain's view of things. She agreed with Obama, for instance, on Pakistan.
So a little more preparation before she goes into that first debate.
Or she might have been over-prepared because some of that nervousness seems to me she had the answers, but not to the questions that were asked.
Margaret Carlson, Bloomberg, thank you very much.
Thanks, Andrea.